South Africa is currently experiencing a second pandemic, the one being COVID-19 and the other the murder of our women and children. According to the World Health Organization, South Africa has one of the highest rates of violence against women in the world. Now to discuss this crisis in our country is our panel. We've got Siyabulela Gentile, founder and president of Not In My Name. Melina Rousseau, founder and executive director of Women-Led Movement. Bernadine Barcha, director of the Baartman Center. And of course, Uspokazi Nikani, a survivor from the Baartman program. Welcome every one of our guests today. Now, currently, South Africa is facing and fighting a second pandemic simultaneously, the one war on our women and children and the other the COVID-19 virus. We would want to start the discussion by asking everyone, what is the root cause of gender-based violence and why is it so prevalent in our country? Siyabulela, please maybe start with you, Baartman.
Yes, thank you very much. I think one of the main causes of gender-based violence is obviously a system that is called patriarchy, which is a system that places males on the top of the social hierarchy, whereby putting women at the bottom and relegating them to second-class or secondary citizens. And I think each and every thing around gender-based violence, femicide, rape culture, they all stem from that point of view.
Mm. And Melina, welcome back to The Loft. I know that you have blessed us with your presence right here in studio. But from your side, what are your views?
Patriarchy has caused eons of structural and systemic inequalities between males and females, which has led to gender-based violence. But there are many other contributing factors, like, for example, your alcohol and drug abuse, like your history of South Africa with violence, like the fact that there are unenforceability of laws. Those are all contributing factors towards the scourge of GBV in South Africa.
Mm. Now, Bernadine, for yourself, you are working with the survivors every single day. What is your view?
Well, I agree with the other panelists. Obviously, South Africa is a society that is characterized by huge gender inequality. The gender gap in South Africa is considerable, and that plays itself out across the board in every aspect of a woman's life. So that is definitely contributing to the huge rate of GBV that we have in South African society. And there are societal factors that are contributing to it, like high rates of unemployment, like poverty that people are experiencing. So these also are contributing to the surge of gender-based violence in South Africa.
Spogazi, thank you so much for joining Afternoon Express and being brave enough to speak about your experience. Just to kick off this discussion, where's your standpoint?
For me, gender-based violence is like more now these days. Is the cause sometimes is alcohol and drugs use. Yes.
So, Bernadine, we want to provide a platform where women can know what they can do if they have been violated. So what services exactly are offered at the Baartman Center and organizations like it?
Okay, so the Baartman Center is a one-stop center for survivors of gender-based violence and their children. Our focus is squarely on empowerment of women as well as healing. So the services that we offer range from psychosocial services, which includes our counseling. We have a legal protection program at the center. We also have a child protection program at the center. We have an ECD center for the children that come into the center with their moms. We have a wide and very robust lobbying and advocacy program that we run from Baartman. With regards to who can approach the Baartman Center, we don't just discriminate on any sort of basis. It's any survivor of gender-based violence and her children. The center is open 24/7, 365 days a year.
So, Spogazi, let's turn to you as a survivor who has been helped by the Baartman Center. There's been an increase in the news regarding violence against women and children. Please may you tell us about your journey and how you have helped others from their traumatic experiences.
When I came into the Baartman, I was being abused by my boyfriend. So I had to run from my place where I was living with him to the police station. That's when the police told me to come to Baartman. So I came alone. So I met this auntie, this old lady, is Auntie Rachel. So she let me in. She assisted me with everything. like toiletries and everything. But she take all my stories, so I told everything. She gave me a place because I came at night, so I had to stay overnight, and then the next morning I have to see the social worker for counseling on all this thing and tell my story also. Then how I got the place. But for the others that I try to show them that I am strong, I can go further. So I show them the same way, and I try to let them know that there is help out there. There is people who can help us, like Baartman Center, because ever since I came here, for me, it's like a home.
Now, Siyabulela, I'm sure you are just filled with joy when you hear such incredible success stories like Uspokazi. I mean, you are part of many civil rights groups, one of which is Not in My Name. Please tell us more about this.
Thanks again. I think, well, first of all, Not in My Name is a civil rights organization that stands up for the rights of all people, regardless of age, creed, and even gender. So all of our interventions, they become secondary and they become reactive until we deal with the actual root of the problem, which is toxic masculinity and how we socialize our boy children. And most of our talks and workshops with these boys are structured in such a way that the first part is always about readmission, admitting that as male or as men and boys, we are born inherently with the privilege that comes with you being a boy. And then we start teaching them that it's important to admit that, and with that, those privileges comes responsibilities. And then we also encourage them, and when we go through the journey with them, to unlearn and learn positive values that will make them, obviously to be healthy and responsible men in our country, will contribute positively.
Yeah. Milena, as the founder of Women-Led Movement, please may you clarify what the challenges, progress and areas of improvement are when it comes to women being protected by the law, the police and our courts.
And I mean, in terms of the law, we covered. The problem that we have is the implementation of the law. And I'm so sick of saying this over and over and over again. It's the implementation of the law by the police. It is the implementation and the application of the law by the court officials. I mean, some of them do not even have the empathy, the depth, the knowledge, and the understanding of the law. If I did not experience this when I practiced law many years ago, and quite recently when I helped a victim of domestic violence, I would not have believed it. But I've seen it. So now what we are saying is, let's make your job a bit easier. We are going to identify the exact police stations, the exact courts and court officials who are transgressing in their particular duty. And so indeed, we do have a very long way to go. And I feel that government cannot fight the scourge of gender-based violence on their own. But yet they are not investing the necessary resources within the criminal justice system, within NGOs, within organizations like my friend Bernadine there with the shelters, with organizations like Not in My Name, who is actually doing the hard work at grassroots level to effect change.
Thank you so much to our incredible panel of guests here who have added to our conversation and they've given us wisdom to move forward in a positive direction. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much again to our entire panel. Now, if you are seeking to stop the cycle of gender-based violence, head over to Afternoon Express's website, afternoonexpress.co.za, for all the information that you need to seek the help that you deserve. But from us here, we're thanking the organizations like Baartman Center, Not in My Name, and Women Lead Movements for the incredible work that they do.